Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Crypto Ginger with yet another video, and of course this is something that I don't normally do because of how busy my days usually get, but I had a little bit of time that I could actually dedicate to this, so I wanted to quickly go over some more news, and I wanted to also point out that we have definitely seen some volatility with Bitcoin and even all of the other cryptocurrencies, but nonetheless, after that last video, we definitely saw Bitcoin kind of tank a little bit more, going even further past the $9,800 mark, but it's had some recovery since then. Again, it's kind of volatile at this point in time, but we're seeing Bitcoin roughly around $10,800, which is good. If we take a quick look at the market cap here on coinmarketcap.com, we can easily see that majority of your cryptocurrencies are basically in the green. There are a couple that are in the red. Of course, if we take a quick look at the total market cap, it has jumped up to roughly $312 billion. So it looks like $12 billion is actually put back into the cryptocurrency space here, bringing Bitcoin's dominance up to 61.4%. So it's very interesting that we're talking about the Bitcoin dominance, because that right there is going to be a determining factor as to how the altcoin season will play itself out. And of course, that question has actually been upon us. Are we in altcoin season? Well, it's just interesting. I found an article that kind of briefly talks about that. Here we have an article from cryptobriefing.com talking about that very question. It says, is it time for an altcoin boom? Think again. Now, not only do we have to take this article with a grain of salt, but we also have to understand that if history has a tendency of repeating itself, then what we experienced in 2017 is very likely for our next upcoming bull run, if that is something to take place. Now, of course, what I wanted to show you here was an example what happened in 2017 with the Bitcoin dominance. And you can see how quickly value moved from Bitcoin to the altcoins. So, for example, November 12th, we saw 49% Bitcoin dominance. Then it jumped up at December 7th to 67% Bitcoin dominance. Then we saw December 12th, it dropped significantly down to 43% Bitcoin dominance, and then January 4th down to 32% Bitcoin dominance. Now, interesting enough, it was around January 4th that we saw a $3.84 XRP, which means that if we were to see another bull run for cryptocurrencies, and of course with all the experts, quote unquote, that have specified that we'll see even higher Bitcoin price point, you know, it could even double what it hit last time, which was around $20,000. That means we could easily see a double price point for the XRP, for example. And if it hit $3.84, that's a little over $7, very close to $8. We could even see it hit $10, just depending on how much is actually putting into that cryptocurrency. Of course, all your other top performing cryptocurrencies underneath Bitcoin will gain a lot of that as it trickles down from that Bitcoin dominance. But you keep in mind, guys, if you are an early investor in XRP, the sky's the limit at this point in time. We have a 40-cent XRP price point at this very moment. And of course, if it jumps up to its all-time high or even higher, that's a huge amount of gains there. So something to keep in mind, guys, and consider when it comes to our next upcoming bull run, and something to focus on when it comes to the Bitcoin dominance. Just make sure you're watching it, because right now we definitely have a very high Bitcoin dominance. Not necessarily right where it was around December 7th of 2017, but we're getting close, guys, which means that if it keeps ranking up with this Bitcoin dominance, we could easily see a lot of that money starting to trickle into, again, all of your other top performing cryptocurrencies. So again, something to look out for when it comes to our next upcoming bull run. Not necessarily sure when that's going to take place, but I would imagine that we're going to start seeing something to happen at least after this summertime period, going into Q3 of this year, 2019, and of course leading into 2020. So again, keep your eyes and ears out for any of this kind of news here and what might be sparking a catalyst for a lot of money coming into the cryptocurrency space. We definitely talked about Ledger X. We've definitely talked about ErisX having Bitcoin futures being approved. BAC's going to be the next one, I believe, if not having already been approved. And of course, BiNance having Bitcoin futures on their platform with a huge amount of leverage as well. So keep all that in mind, guys. There's some activity happening in the sphere here that is going to spark a lot of interest for a lot of money coming in, hopefully with institutional investors as well. So let me know what you guys think about this information here, guys. A couple other things I wanted to quickly go over as well. Now, a very interesting topic that is now turned into a little bit of a hilariousness, but also with some extreme caution behind it, is the talk about whether or not anybody purchased Bitcoin at a 600% markup premium in Zimbabwe. That would have put Bitcoin roughly around $76,000 per purchase. Now, interesting enough, again, in Zimbabwe, through localbitcoin.com, this was actually something being set up through a payment method called EcoCash. As you can see, here's a screenshot of that particular setup. And interesting enough, below the EcoCash payment methods, you can see PayPal's method, and there's a substantial difference in the price points. So I'm not sure if anyone fell for this particular scam or being conned out of their money, but it was definitely something being posted on localbitcoin.com. There were definitely a multitude of skeptics out there looking at this even further. You saw someone named Maddie Greenspan, who is the senior market analyst for eToro, coming out stating that some crypto sites are reporting a 600% Bitcoin premium in Zimbabwe. This massive markup is actually just a reflection of the black market rate for USD held in EcoCash, which have been just rendered virtually worthless by the government. So again, this right here looks like a desperation attempt by EcoCash to try to get rid of Bitcoins at such a marked up premium price that it was just absurdly ridiculous there. So again, I hope no one fell for this. And guys, if you are getting yourself into cryptocurrencies or any type of investments, please do your own research. Make sure you're looking at the proper avenues of getting yourself into this particular ecosystem. And of course, again, doing your own research will help you avoid these kind of situations there. I'm not sure, again, whether or not anyone fell for this. That's definitely something I haven't been reading about, but I just found it hilarious that anyone was trying to sell Bitcoin at that high of a price. So very, very interesting topic there, guys. A couple other things I wanted to quickly go over as well. Now, jumping into the topic of XRP, which is really one of my favorite topics to talk about, is the idea of what we already heard when it comes to MoneyGram partnering up with Ripple. And now we're hearing that the CEO of MoneyGram is stating outright to the public that XRP and XRapid are the absolute right asset for global settlements. Now, of course, this is coming again from the CEO of MoneyGram, Alexander Holmes. Definitely somebody that is possibly doing really well right now, because once that partnership took place between MoneyGram and Ripple, MoneyGram stocks actually jumped up in price as well. And I do believe Western Union might have suffered a little bit when it comes to this as far as their stocks are concerned, which really kind of alludes to the idea that we might be hearing from Western Union partnering up with Ripple in the near future. I'm not stating that is the case, my speculation, but what we do know of Western Union and Ripple, we could easily see that happen. Here, the CEO of MoneyGram is stating that this partnership really gives us a chance to speed this up and really gives Ripple a chance to put real-time meaningful value into the network and online and get that liquidity through the system. And I think it's going to show that from a platform perspective, XRapid and XRP as an asset is the absolute right one for use for settlement purposes. Definitely true. We have definitely heard that before. We all know that with studying XRP, studying XRapid, studying with what Ripple's trying to do when it comes to settlements, and of course doing cross-border payments, remittances, things of that nature. That is absolutely the right asset. And of course, I'm hopeful again when it comes to what we heard with Western Union, possibly looking at Ripple and maybe even wanting to get on board. That could be something we see in the near future. My speculation, but of course, you know, a lot of people are speculating the same thing as well. So be on the lookout for any kind of news coming from Western Union about, again, a partnership with Ripple. It very well could happen. Who knows? Especially, again, seeing that MoneyGram's stocks jumped up and Western Union kind of suffered from this. I would imagine they definitely want to have some sort of experience with what MoneyGram just experienced, again, with that partnership. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Let me know if you know anything about this right here when it comes to Western Union possibly getting partnered up outside of the news we already know about. One more thing I wanted to quickly go over as well. I want to give a quick shout out to another XRP community member going by the name of BreadGarlicHouse. I know it's kind of a funny name there. But what he posted was very important here, because this is the talk of central banks creating digital currencies and receiving backing for this. And of course, that's a picture of Augustin Carson, who is a very prominent figure when it comes to central banks on a global scale here. So somebody you would definitely want to listen to when it comes to the talk of central banks and what they're doing. Now, what BreadGarlicHouse posted here was very important. He specified that when public has direct access to central bank money, banks will no longer be able to borrow from central banks at cheap rates and lend it to us at cutthroat rates, which means they have to find money somewhere else. If only there was a way to release dormant capital, which obviously XRP would be the answer. We've definitely heard that be the main talking point early on in XRP's stage, and of course it still remains true. So who knows exactly where these central banks are going to go when it comes to the creation of digital currencies, but we can easily know that XRP will be that bridge asset that will allow for a lot of those digital currencies to be transferred back and forth. So a very, very big move here. I would definitely encourage you guys to take a quick read for this article here, but again, seeing that central banks planning to create digital currencies and receiving backing is absolutely huge. So thanks for that information there, BreadGarlicHouse, and again, another shout out to you. And of course, I wanted to end this off on a very highlighted note. We actually saw reference that a former Ripple executive is now going to become the CEO of BiNance of America and their trading services. It happens to be Catherine Coley. Now again, she is a former Ripple executive, now becoming a CEO of BiNance in the US, and I think that this is a fantastic move when it comes to what we know about Ripple, what we know about BiNance, and now we can see kind of these two worlds merging together. And you mix this information up with the likes of the previous information that we got roughly around the beginning of this year, where we saw that BiNance wants to add Ripple's XRP as a partner in the future. Well guys, this right here could be the exact method that we needed to have to see BiNance convert over and actually start using XRP. Again, having a former Ripple executive being the new CEO of BiNance US, that is fantastic news. Again, we don't know exactly what's going to happen with all this, but we can definitely see that these two worlds are getting closer and closer together when it comes to Ripple and BiNance. And if we start seeing the talks of BiNance looking at XRP as this new process being implemented into their particular platform, guys, the sky's the limit at that point in time when it comes to XRP. So let me know what you guys think about this information, guys. I definitely appreciate you all being a part of this channel and putting up with me and, you know, the lack of content sometimes, but I'm most certainly trying. And again, I thank you all. If you are new to this channel, please hit the like and subscribe button, and of course please share this content with everybody. We are all early adopters. We need to have more early adopters so that they can all benefit from this as well. So again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.